every minute, man, I swear that she can get it. Saying, you a bad bitch, put your hands up high. Hands up high, hands up high. Tell them turn the lights down right now, put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark perfume. Go, go.
I recognize your fragrance, hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit, and I know your taste is a little bit, high maintenance, everybody else basic, you live life on an everyday basis, with poetic justice.
Hey, it's your girl Candy, and I am here with my girls, Miss Kira Speaks and Tamika's Den, and we are going to talk about Tyler Perry's Duplicity on Amazon Prime, the live rant and review. So, ladies, how y'all feeling?
Good. Hanging in there.
All righty. Good. That's it. Just good.
Yeah.
You know?
We hanging in there.
How did y'all enjoy the movie?
Ooh.
The people.
Okay, so Tyler Perry got levels, right? So we got the family that prays. We got Why Did I Get Married? That's like up here, and then we got the other stuff is somewhere down here, and Beauty and the Black is around here, and Duplicity around there somewhere. So I was good for the most part till we kind of got to the end, and then they played in my face a little bit. And had we not had that, we would have been okay. Could have been two separate movies. I'd have been good, but yeah, it wasn't awful. But
Yeah.
It only takes one thing.
Okay. How about you, Tamika?
Yeah, we could have X'd out one whole subplot, okay, and could have been gone, could have been not needed, Mr. Tyler Perry, okay, and we would have been all right. I would have been okay with all the rest of it. It was not the worst, but that definitely dropped it down for me. I was like, I know you freaking lying, and I had a feeling because I just was like, this is not your ministry, okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, like we done left the family that prays, the what is it? Why did I get married? We've left that era alone a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now we're pumping out content.
Well, 688 wasn't too bad either. So I was like,
that
okay.
was not bad.
And that was outside of his wheelhouse.
That wasn't his story, so he can't mess up somebody else.
I mean, you can.
He can, but he did. Let's speak to the people. Hey, Shayna. Hey, LL. Thank y'all for coming. Girl ID Thomas, P. Bronson. Thank you for coming through. I was untangling herself underneath the. Okay. It wasn't awful. Okay, Greta. Okay.
Hey, Greta.
Bobby the Beast Boy always okay. He gonna be Bobby the Beast Boy henceforth, okay? And I hate you even said that because now I'm gonna be calling him Bobby the Beast Boy, okay? That's from the Black Hamptons and family Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who's that from Family Business?
He was on the season 5 and 6. I know 6 for sure, maybe 5 of Family Business, the original Family Business. He played the boxer that was dealing with Paris.
That's right.
Yeah. And then in the Black Hamptons, he was still a boxer in there, but yeah. So that's where he came from. Let's see. Letitia, did you watch? Oh, you did watch because you did a review. You did. I feel like I'm having a hot flash, y'all.
Come on. Where's your little fan?
I didn't hate the movie. Hate would be a strong word. I just didn't like the ending of it. And we wrapped it all up in a bow. So yeah, I didn't like that. I keep leaving Tamika off. I don't want this. This setup. Okay, you know what? Let me see if I can get us together. So yes, the movie is called Duplicity. and it stars Kat Graham, which I'm not familiar with. She plays Marley Wells. We have Tyler Lepley or Lepley. He plays the guy named Tony. We have
Ron
Ron
Rico Lee.
Rico Lee. He plays Cuckoo Kevin.
Not Cuckoo Kevin.
Kevin was Cuckoo Cocoa Puffs. Okay, I'm trying to get us straight. Can you know the rest of the characters?
Who else do we have? That's your main four.
Yeah,
Marley was Fela
Fela. I'm trying to get
was
Kelly.
Megan Tandy.
Hmm.
And that was basically everybody. Everybody else was kind of a side character.
Yeah, and I do have them written down, but I'm trying to get us situated up here. Okay.
There you
Yep.
go.
All right. So we were in Discord doing a live watch long. Okay. Okay. Cool
Okay.
beans. Yeah, LL. The end kind of threw me off too, and they were celebrating. Yeah. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I think we all had the same gripe. So
It sounds like it.
he is it's a drama with 55 twists and turns, and which a lot of it I was not expecting for it to have. It is dealing with trust, betrayal, and mask on, mask off.
Mm-hmm.
Sailor, mask
A
on,
lot of
mask.
people said they got it within the first 15 minutes. Now,
Hmm?
I got that it was a setup, but I didn't get the full extent of it. Like y'all got the movie in the first 15 minutes. I guess I'm slow now, child.
Yeah, that's they were good if they got it in the first 15 minutes. In the beginning.
I feel like I started catching on to two of the people halfway through
Mm-hmm.
because I was given side eye definitely a few different times on several different occasions that the math wasn't mathing for me.
Yeah.
One of them took me for a loop, but I was just still mad. Like, why did we get here? But I'll wait till when it's my turn to do my rant, child.
we cooking.
Yes. So Marley is a high power attorney. Uh she's dealing with things that she's never really dealt with before. She's dealt with her boyfriend's case. I'm gonna say racism maybe. And then she ends up helping her friend later on. So we're gonna talk about that. Sorry, blank slide. So we have the group, the team, the family, the folks leaving the gym. They was in a cycling class. And I'm like, I would like to do a cycling class. That look kind of
Girl. Okay.
but immediately we noticed that Fela does not care for Kevin, which is played by Ronrico Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Ronrico Lee. And we see that Tony, which is Tyler's character, he and Kat Graham are dating. But they want to meet at this restaurant called Nana's, something like that. I can't remember the name of
Mamas
Nana's.
or something like that.
Yeah. And they were adamant about going. Everybody got to go to work. I'm like, what time y'all got to be at work? Because it looked like it's about 7, 8 o'clock already. We get to the restaurant and Rodney comes in, and he and Tony are looking at each other kind of funny. Anybody want to discuss the breakfast scene and how strange it was?
Yeah, it was weird. They were like, one of them was like, I don't know why they keep trying to put us together, and they was giving each other kind of the side eye, looking each other up and down. You trying to figure out what's going on, and that's before the ladies come in and we find out that they having marriage trouble. So yeah, very interesting.
What about you, Tamika?
Yeah, because when they was leaving, of course, the first thing she tells Fela is she don't like Kevin and make sure y'all don't invite him to breakfast. And then, Fela was saying how good they are together and how she looked at, I'm sorry, I don't even remember their names. Who was
Marley,
her husband. She was saying that that's like a brother to her. She was like, well, what's going on? Because she was like making it seem already kind of hinting that it's not all what you think it is. And then it was like, never mind, I don't want to go into it. And then when we go to meet at breakfast, her husband don't want nothing to do with him. He's like, why are you here? I don't know why they keep trying to pit us together. So I was like, well, what is the problem? What don't he like about him? Was there already an issue and they know it's an issue, but they still keep trying to force them together. We didn't really go nowhere with that. It was just like awkward and out of nowhere, and was like, well, why do you feel this way?
Yeah, not till we got to the end, and then you was like,
Yeah.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Right.
I'm like, what's ailing them? Like, why are they, because I don't know why they're trying to keep putting us together, Rodney and Tony. I'm like, what's wrong? What did you tell her? You told her something? Did you? I'm like, hold a minute.
Right.
It's too early in the morning for these attitudes, sir.
Right.
So, they end up saying that, well, I got to go to work, at the news station, and he has to go. You have to go take your run, right? Your job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, girl, what you do?
You should have known that.
Yeah.
So we have Ronrico. We have Kevin, who is something in the police department. I can't remember what rank he is, but he's talking about the crime rate and how the red spots mean this, the blue means that, and we need to make sure we keep our head on the swivel and we're trying to keep the crime rate down. So the camera keeps panning to this white gentleman in the back, in the middle of the class, and of course he ends up getting stopped by Kevin. And it was like, well, I'm going to be your field training officer for today. And he was like, really? Why? What's going on? He was like, nothing. And got the little smile. Nothing. I'm just going to help you out today. See, you got a good, think you have good potential. You have potential to do well in this job. Just going to see what's going on. The guy's concerned, thinking he's been doing a bad job. He don't know why this high-ranking officer wants to train him in the field today. And I was like, well, that sounds a little suspicious. Everyone's gonna want to fool with the newbies like that. You come from a small town, and I just want to, show you the ropes or whatever. It's high crime.
It was giving me training day I already knew. I was like, oh, you going on a field thing? Okay. And then when he told him, when I say GUN, I said, oh, here we go.
I'm like, I say shoot, right? I'm like, well,
don't hesitate.
That's what like, we already here. We started off in the first 5 minutes. Okay, all right. I see what type of time we on. Okay.
Yep.
And I did too, Letitia. I thought it was suspicious that she was calling Rodney her brother. Well, you saying about the part about him has to go run, yes. But when she kept calling him her brother, or he's like a brother, and I texted him, I'm like, are they going together?
That's why I wanted to know the dynamics, because we was getting piece by piece by piece. I know when we had breakfast, we say that Marley hooked up Fila and Tony. It had been 8 months since and she wanted to know when they was going to put a ring on it. And it also they met because of his lawsuit. So then how long was the friendship with Marley? Like, I just kept having more questions. And did you know Rodney before you knew her, if you're looking at him as a brother? Like, what's the truth here?
You didn't get any of that.
I need to know. I'm like, this don't even sound right. This don't look right. This don't taste right. I don't like it. So we end up seeing Rodney on his run. We have Kevin and the cop. I forgot his name. Caleb. Kevin and Caleb. They are on a stop. I think the car was going 30 miles per hour. Caleb wanted to write a whole ticket. And he was like, no, it's gonna take too much time. But then we have the older lady on the phone. Somebody's calling her. She was like, I don't have time for scams or whatever. She was like, you don't know me, but there is a black man walking in your neighbor's house or something of that nature. Anybody want to discuss?
Which was crazy, because it said, why would you call me to tell me there's somebody behind my house? Why would you not just call 911? Why would you call me? That was already weird to begin with.
Who the hell is this on my phone?
Yeah, she was already given, those vibes that she called the cops on people anyway. But like, she didn't even think about it. She just picked up the phone and called, like, there's a black man in the alley behind my house. And I'm so, okay, lady. And then he just went into the house next door. It wasn't like he broke in. It wasn't like he was trying to come into her house. So it was just like, all right, this the setup. This the setup. I knew wherever he was going, he knew who the person was. But that call was like, I'd have hung up. I wouldn't have called the cops. I'd be like, well, I guess you saw the person. I'd be like, why you don't call the cops? Why you call me and tell me to call the cops? Because I
Let
think
me
it
go ahead
was
and talk about this, and I'm gonna be right back because I don't know what this
okay.
guy.
Because I think it was supposed to be the neighbor behind her, right? Is what they said.
Right. And to me, I feel like she assumed that because they never really said who they was. They was like, you
Oh,
don't
okay.
know me, but it's somebody walking behind your house. You should call the cops. Like, okay, who are you and how the hell did you get my number?
Right.
But no, she looked, she saw him, and she went ahead and called the cops. There's a black man behind my house. Oh, he's going in now. I don't know him. He's breaking in. It was like, how you know he breaking in? Because he looked like he walked in like he was comfortable to me. He
Yeah.
didn't look like
Looked
he
like
really
he
had to
walked
break
in.
in, but okay.
And I thought it was weird because when we got to later to whose house it was supposed to be, I'm like, wouldn't you have been over there multiple times for you to see this man and you not to be like not recognize him? But you know, that's the story we're going with. She didn't recognize him. He was black. He was in the alley, and he looked like it didn't look like he was breaking in at all. Like you said, he just walked right into the door like it was his house, his grandma's house or something.
Right. But I was like, where the hell is he going? Because we seen him on the jog, and then
He was jogging off to get into some things. He said he had to make a quick stop. A quick stop. And then they get the phone call, and all of a sudden they right there. You right where you need to be, ironically.
Right. I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, okay. So so they pull up on the scene, and of course Rodney is, when we first see Rodney jogging, he got this rap music, hip hop music blasting in his headphones. He's jogging, and he's coming from around the corner of the lady's house. And of course, he has his head down, and he has his headphones still on. So he looks up and plop, plop, plop. Well, I'm sorry. And the guy starts.
And he pulled his cell phone out when he went to put his hands up. I don't know why he didn't just take his hands out, pull a headphone off on the way up, but
Yes. Right. So yeah. He didn't stay in the house long, did he? Honey, I guess he got it.
No, he didn't.
Once we realized what was going on, I guess he didn't.
I'm assuming she wasn't there when he went there. That was
I don't think she was.
He went over there for their regular meetup, and she had went to the grocery store, the market, or something, because she wasn't there. Because he did come in and come out. So
yeah. So of course, he was unalive. He was pronounced dead later on at the hospital. But Fela, his wife, is a newscaster, and she's doing her show, and she is like breaking news. Her and the guy named Shannon, her co-worker, breaking news, and it was like the unaliving of a black man by a police officer, and his name is Rodney
Blackburn.
And it's like, huh?
Why would you give her that though? I kept thinking, like, wouldn't you have known that they got the same last name? Like,
I guess maybe everybody didn't know. It seemed like her co-host and our man Alan from the Oval, who was her other co-worker, they knew immediately. They was like, cut the cameras, go to commercial. But maybe everybody didn't know. Whoever was sending the story in, I don't know, child.
Yeah, they kind of figured it out immediately because you could see Alan. You could see his face, and he was like, hold a minute. Yeah, it was bad. So of course now we're at the hospital, and everybody's there, and of course the doctor comes in and lets her know that her husband didn't make it, and if she passes out, everybody crowds around her to help her. But we have Kevin standing in the background, and I'm like, sir, why are you here? Who are you? You
like a sore thumb.
Y'all was cycling this morning, and why? What's going on? What's really going on? Because you cycling this morning with the group. Of course, we know Fela don't like you, and you were part of the pow-powing of Rodney. And now you're here at the hospital. So who are you? That's what my mind went. I'm like, Kevin, who are you?
Trouble. Yeah. Because it looked like they left him there. It doesn't even look like they got on the ambulance and rode with him or nothing. It looked like they have just called it in and went on about their business.
So anybody want to discuss the scene at the house, the funeral, the way Fela went off on a
Um,
newscaster?
I don't remember the house. I know at the funeral she went. Yeah, she went off on the news people. I guess it was like the rival news station that came to like cover it, and she cussed them out. And we got this. This is a black man and a white cop. It was a lot of black men and white cops. And was this when we found out he didn't have a life insurance or something like that, and they were in debt, and she needed money? Is that what happened at the house? I'm trying to remember.
Yes,
So
ma'am. And I was already like looking at them like, okay. All of a sudden, we having money problems. We never brought that up before. And even when Tony goes to tell Fela and she first go running to the hospital, I don't know. I guess he would be concerned because he knows that his wife cared about him. But it was like, I don't know. This was a little thick for me because you just finished saying you ain't give a damn about this man. But I guess I'm going to go with it. And then they went back to the house, and basically between him being somebody that used to be a cop that kind of knows how this work, and them being the investigators that work at the news station with her, they was putting their heads together saying info that they could kind of dig up and try to find out what really happened. And I also found it interesting that Kevin was there like, oh, I'm so sorry, but he also was emphasizing, the new white cop, he's a white cop. Like you said, he was making sure we emphasize on that. No, it wasn't me. It was this young rookie white cop that I took under my wing. So yeah.
But if you all noticed their faces when they were at the house, and Tony was telling, that he was a cop, now he's a PI. And then we got Alan from the Oval. I'm just calling him Alan because I can't remember his name. Alan saying, Shannon was saying, well, Alan, our investigative team is real, real good. So Tony was like looking kind of sideways, like he was like, and he was like, yeah, I got some hookups or whatever. I'll look into it, because they, you have to investigate stuff when you work for the news station. So he has, as we found out later on, he does have the insight on all kind of stuff. He can find information. So Tony was looking
Tony's
kind of
also
and I'm like, well, damn, Tony, what? No,
and Tony's also a PI, a former cop and a PI.
Yeah, but he don't want nobody to. But the way he looked at the guy, Alan, was like, okay, we only need two people digging up no information. Let me do the digging. Of course, he dug and never got a damn thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
So to answer your question, did he know the newbie cop would delete him, or was Kevin willing to do it? So in the beginning, when they were in the training, in the briefing room, or everybody left, he said, when you hear gun, shoot. So he knew he would do it because he been trained and he don't want to mess up. So when he says, when you hear that word, that's what you do. So
he made him, like you said earlier, he made him feel like maybe he had done something wrong, and he was trying to toe the line.
Because he was even telling him, like, you don't know nothing about rough neighborhoods. And I think he brought up that he grew up around, I forgot what it was. I know it was a drug. And he was like, oh, so what you know, meth or something on them lines. And he was like, oh, yeah, child.
Right, P. Bronson. Kevin just pop up everywhere. Go do something. Please do something for yourself. Because what you was doing was really pissing me off. Every time
he's very suspicious.
Yeah. So
it was at the graveside.
Huh?
No, I said it was at the graveside because it was two different scenes, but that was at the graveside.
So now we are here, and this is after the funeral, and we have Kevin again popping up at the house. Like, sir, stop.
Yeah, my girlfriend had me laughing with this, and she's a retired cop. She was like, first of all, but she was like, this cop and his mustache is getting on my damn nerves. And I didn't want to tell her how it goes, so I'm just like, keep watching. But she had me cracking up. She's like, I don't know if I'm being finished watching this, because every time I turn around, his mustache and my damn face, he keep popping up.
Lord. So she's going off on him about, the cops unlike my husband and this, that, and the third. And he and Tony said, let's go outside. Like, why are you here? Tony takes him outside, trying to play it cool. And he and Kevin are talking, the middle picture. But we know Shannon and Alan are ear hustling because they want to know what's going on. And I said, okay, good job, y'all. We know. So Tamika, you want to
Oh
discuss this
God.
conversation, and if you have a rant, you can go ahead and handle that. And body cam footage, ma'am.
Yeah, I mean, this is when she goes see the DA, and pretty much at first the DA was trying to be cordial, and she was like, "Skip all of that. We ain't here for no friendly stuff. I'm about to take y'all to the cleaners. Y'all played yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They had no business doing what they did, and they got to pay for it. And I'm gonna sue y'all." And but the DA was trying to let her know, like, it's not gonna go as smooth as you think it's gonna go. We do already have the footage, and proceeded to go ahead and show it to her. And she was like, you can clearly see that looks like a weapon. I did feel bad for her when she had to sit there and watch that video and
Yeah,
see that.
I was like, ooh, and you can
Yeah.
Give me
hear,
give me some type of warning, please. Although she
Right.
did seem like she wanted to see
mm-hmm.
it, but like,
Yeah, that was hard to watch. I was like, dang, because you see it first hand, up close and personal of what
mhm.
was said, what was done, and you could see Caleb trying to resuscitate, like trying to, make
Yes,
sure he's alive or stay alive or whatever. He didn't know what to do other than CPR. Kevin monkey ass gonna say, stop,
he
stop, he'll
gone.
make CPR right. I say, what? And you got a body cam on, and that's what you say? Okay.
Mhm.
Kevin, all right. I want to hang you up by your toenails. Yeah.
Mhm.
And pull you and find you some scorpions and ants and all kind of things to eat. That's what I want to do. But she in this conversation, she was saying that, was this a conversation about the money? About she got Tony the money, they did him dirty or whatever? Is this the same conversation? Or
Yeah, I
this is
think so. Because
okay.
the DA was saying that he was stealing the drugs or the drug money or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. And I was like, and
Yeah.
she won the lawsuit, the case.
It's like $300,000 or
Three hundred
whatever.
thousand dollars.
But
Mm-hmm.
so supposedly Caleb, well, I'm jumping ahead of myself. But
It's
yeah,
okay.
that body cam footage was very, very sad. Just to hear the conversations was really, really bad. So of course they have
It
to
was
report on.
traumatic because imagine it was traumatic for her, and she did a really good job acting, like showing the emotion and crying and everything. And I was like, she crying, I'm crying, because like I still to this day haven't watched like George Floyd. Like I don't like watching
Mm-hmm.
any of that footage where you have to. I mean, at least this is a movie, so we know the person is still alive. But I'm like, it's hard to watch that type of stuff.
Yeah. And then when it comes to that thing, the other lady was saying that, it's political, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and if you sue civilly, they're going to defend it and they're going to, do everything they can do, for them, of course, not to get some money. But of course, she's saying, shoot, that's how I like to fight. I like to handle it like that. I don't want to go out easy.
Her chances were good because the city was already protesting. So
So, yeah. Because I think her rant at the funeral, Fela's rant at the funeral with the other news news channel was
mm-hmm.
what set it off. Um, so is this when Tony was okay? So Tony ended up letting her sleep and call her job and say, "I call your job and say that you're gonna be late or let you sleep." How you do that? You ain't got a job to go to? Cause why are you calling my job about me?
I
Y'all
had to
that
rewind because I was confused. I was like, I thought that was her husband, the way he was acting. And I'm like, I know this lady was asking when are they going to get married. And she said, but it had only been 8 months. Like, what boyfriend after 8 months calling my job?
yeah, like you didn't even know me like that.
But I did think he was looking out for her, because at that point she had called him to let him know she saw the tape, and he was like, "Oh
Yeah,
man, I was trying to catch you before you saw it."
right,
And then went and got her, and she was all crying and hysterical, stopped at the gas
Mhm.
station, and it's like, "Oh, I got you." And he also was saying, "You saw it though. It did look like a piece." You got to think about this from a
right,
lawyer perspective, and he allegedly looking at it as a person that used to be a cop or whatever. And
right.
then we bringing her home to let her sleep. She got to grieve this
Yeah,
through type of thing.
he,
But she was like, "No, I got to get up and get busy. I got things to do. Okay,
Mhm.
I got a job to do here."
Yeah.
He was looking
Mhm.
out for her, but I feel like you know who you're dating. So if you're dating
Mhm.
somebody that seems to be like that anal or that on point, like calling them out of their job is probably not the move you want to make. But baby, are we getting up? Are we calling into work? What are we doing?
Yeah. Wake me up and talk about that. Don't know. You don't know how much time I got. Like, don't be playing with my job. Don't do that. Do not. Um,
That's why I said that's
but
something like a husband would know. Like
yeah,
she ain't
Right.
getting up, she's
Mhm.
spent, she got time. Like let her just sleep. It'll be all right. She get
and I
there
don't
later.
even really trust you like that, and you know that. So why you playing with my employment? Even though I'm a pit bull in this thing, but don't play with me like that. So we end up seeing the press conference she had, and she was saying that they were gonna, they need to release all the footage and all the evidence that they have because this goes on too much. And the black guy asked her like, "Well, how is Fayla?" She was like, "It's what you expect, you know, she's not
Yeah.
doing good." And then of course now we have Caleb sitting in a hotel, look like he at the Rinky Dink Motel, and watching this news broadcast, and he knowing that it was not intentional. It was
Right. He did what he was told.
did what he was told to do, and I'm
He in
like,
a beauty
oh,
and black he in a beauty and black motel.
child, don't it look like it? Miss
You
Kira, you
know,
want to talk about this lady?
TP gonna real. Oh Lord! So this was when Marley went to go visit Miss Lady. I don't even know what the lady name is. Miss Neighbor Lady that called the police. As soon as she came, she said, "Listen, this is a nice neighborhood. I don't want no problems, ma'am. Like I'm not. We know you're not afraid to call the cops. I'm not afraid to call the cops." And then she was saying that her neighbor, Mrs. Beaumont, called her and told her that the person was back there and that oh, it was so bad listening to him moan and groan all of that time. And I was like, oof, that don't sound good. So then she go over see Miss
Yeah.
Beaumont. Miss Beaumont like, it ain't nobody but me, and I ain't called you, baby. Okay, can you get these geese and whatever else the cats and the geese she was feeding, child?
Hmm. Yeah, because she was like, somebody called and told me that he was back there. I didn't even see him. They just called me and told me that he was back there. I was like, dang, you be saying stuff and don't know you really saying stuff. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, all right. So what I said, fella has the fella has the best coworkers because those guys came through with some pictures and some information on
Mm-hmm.
Rodney and what he had been doing. And I think Tony is in one of those pictures.
Yep.
Rodney, he's dating some young lady, and she wants to know how in the hell Tony in the picture. Tony, what are you doing? How you?
Mm-hmm.
He said the lady's wife had him follow her, so that's
That's
why
what he
he's on
said.
footages. What I'm like, so Melrose wants to answer your question. Supposedly, Tony was hired by Anna's husband,
Husband.
to
Mm-hmm.
follow her because he thought she was cheating or whatnot. So that's where that came from. But
So
yeah,
that's why he allegedly didn't like him because he knew he was cheating. But if he knew, why wouldn't Molly know?
honey.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, that was what inquiring minds want to know. Even her co-workers was like, "So do you think she knew because her attitude changed around that time? If we
Mm-hmm.
Right.
calculating it right,
Yep.
okay."
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, okay, them coworkers ain't playing. They are
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
seriously 100 10 toes down and a hundred grand on this thing. They are not playing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Marley ends up she's pissed off with Tony. He was like, well, I couldn't tell you, what I was doing because, it really
Mm-hmm.
wasn't your business. I was doing a job. And she said,
Confidentiality.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but she said, if you do this one way, then this is how you are all the time, or something. I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. I have trust issues. I say, damn. Okay.
And never told us, never knew nothing else about the boyfriend or the ex as to why she had trust issues. Like, stop dropping little gems and then don't do nothing with it. But that's just
Right.
like a little nitpick.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop with all that. I don't need,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
not.
it was like, oh, if you knew who her ex was, you would understand why
Right.
she.
Hmm.
If
Okay,
you're
we
not
still
going to
don't
do
know.
nothing with it, just leave it out. It's okay. It wouldn't,
Right.
like, it really wouldn't have made that much of a difference, child.
Yeah, like tell us who he was. Do we see him in on screenshot? Did we see him somewhere? Like, who was he? Was it Caleb? Hell, I don't know. Who is he?
Right.
Somebody. Um, but of course we get here and where Marley is talking to Miss Beaumont, and she fussing about the cats and the geese, and she want to know, can she sue the lady? I'm like, ma'am, really? You want to sue the lady for that? But she gets over to
I
Fela's
feel
house.
her.
Is it Fela or Fela? Because they say both
They
parts.
said both, so it
Okay.
don't really matter.
Yeah, I thought it was Miss Jody at first, P. Bronson. I really did. I'm like, no, that ain't Miss Jody.
Mm-mm.
But Fela is burning pictures.
That's when I thought she knew that the man was cheating. Because why if he passed away, why are you back there burning pictures? That didn't make no sense. And then he talking about, well, he ain't coming back, ma'am. This is looking, it ain't looking too good.
Yeah, that was definitely confusion for me. Why are we burning these pictures? What are we trying to get rid of exactly?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. So of course, Marley, the good friend that she is, gets her to go in the house, and they just had their conversation. And she was asking, like, is there anything I should know, like, what's going on with you all? And um, I think she mentioned about having an affair, and uh, Fela was like, "Don't tell me you found out." But she's like, "No, I'm just asking, like, what's something going on?"
Right.
I'm like, okay. She's like, we just don't ask these questions. We ask these questions for a reason. We're not just asking just to ask. They have meaning behind them. So
Child,
they
that's
have their
why she knew.
little. Mm-hmm. But she was saying, I think he was having an affair or whatever. But Fela is still, acting like she doesn't know anything, and she said she want to be publicly humiliated or whatever. So
And that didn't make
that's what
sense
you
to
worried
me. I
about.
felt like that was the time to put it all out on the table because, like the reporters that Molly worked with said, we're not going to break the story, but you know that
Mm-hmm.
this is going to get out, right?
Right.
Like we know that people are going to find out about this. So we were just trying to come
Mm-hmm.
and give you the heads up before it spread. And then she asked if she could hold on to the picture. So it's like, why not tell? But then you're mad at your whatever the hell he supposed to be to you, Tony, for not telling you. But okay,
Mm-hmm.
moving right along.
I
I
get
just
why
yeah.
she was upset, but like you said, it was gonna come out anyway because they do always do that in these cases. Like
Yeah,
when the police officers take the person out, they try to discredit who they were. So now he's taken out. So now
exactly.
all of a sudden he was having an affair, and it's like, what is
Mm-hmm.
typically it's like, what does one thing have to do with another in
Right.
the real
Mm-hmm.
world? So,
Right.
but it was she was gonna have to deal with it one way or another. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and you said I think the writers did that burning pics to throw us off. To throw us off how? Because eh, yeah, I'm trying to figure out why would you do that? If that's your husband and you love him and you miss him, like why would you burn pictures?
the writers,
You're not Miss
you mean
Nancy.
Mr. Perry? Ain't no writers.
You are not Nancy from the
Writer.
Oval, darling. But this is time. I guess it's Tyler Perry go-to child. So we have Marley getting home. Out, and I'm like, okay, girl, you got your garage up still yet? Like, yeah, no. Close the garage door down. But anyway, we get Caleb walking up on her, and he's talking to her like, "Tell Fela I'm sorry. Was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to happen." But sir, you're walking up on a lady that is friends to the person that you just unalived.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you think it's okay for you to walk up on her at nighttime, and then you want to say, "I have a kid too. I'm not a racist," and you know I'm dealing with a whole lot right now. So whatever they're gonna do with me is it's gonna be worse because it can't be any worse because I'm really got a lot going on right now. So, but what
He'd
you
have
got to
got
say about
he'd have got something
people is
sprayed in
saying?
his eye, and I'd have shoved him right out the garage. I'd have shoved him out the garage and then called the boyfriend because
Okay,
we're
keeping
not
me.
doing all that. What you're not even getting all that conversation out because what? How do
Okay.
you know where I live? What are you doing here?
Yeah,
Exactly. Why are
why
you
are
coming
you
to
here?
my house?
Why are you here?
I wouldn't have gave a damn if it was road spray or whatever was closest to
Something.
me. Been in
Mm-hmm.
his damn face. Thank you. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he should
And
have
a
sent his wife.
shove.
Yeah, but not at no
Mm-hmm.
damn nighttime though. You don't go in
No,
nobody's house at nighttime.
no.
Right.
So
You
of
send
course,
your wife to catch me at the coffee shop. Don't come to my
okay.
house in the
Mm-hmm.
dark.
Yes, and then we have Tony, pull the blicky out of the man, which I ain't mad at him or whatever. So he gets on the phone with Kevin, and he got to make a whole scene about Kevin about Caleb pulling up. He was like, "Well, I told him not to talk to nobody." Sir, did you tell him not to go to nobody's house either? But Tony threatening, throwing all these threats out there, and Kevin is talking low. Check, please, check, because he got to go. Because he got to go figure out why the hell Caleb is walking up on people domicile where they reside, where they lay their head. Like, why are you doing this? So talk about Miss Kira, talk about the blanket being provided to Tony from.
But wait, what blanket? Oh,
He
for him
got
to
her a
go sleep on the couch because he ain't tell her about an investigation that he was doing when he's a PI. Man, please. Where do you live though? Why are you over at her house? Because I'm not gonna sleep on your couch. I'll just go home. You a homosexual? You don't got no place
I
to
don't think
stay?
he had a home. I think his home was her home, and her home was his home. Where was the
After 8
300,000
months?
that he won, child? That's what I really
They
need to
ain't been
know,
together for
y'all.
8 months. I
8
got
months
you
and
Where
almost
was
a
that
half.
$300,000.
money?
I got you over $250,000.
Right.
Why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
You had trust issues. Why does man still live with you? He could have bought his own place.
Exactly.
Right.
You got trust issues. You won him 300 grand, but you got
Mm-hmm.
33 and a third of that. All right, okay. So he got what 170 something, maybe
Mm.
one,
I
maybe
hope
look two,
175.
maybe right at two, maybe 190. So where is your
Mm-hmm.
money, sir?
Yeah, because when she was saying that they may have to help Molly out because
Right.
Molly says that she's broke and they ain't got no insurance, he was like, "Well, we'll do what we can, but remember, we ain't all that money is going too. Like, where did the money
Yeah, he
go,
said
sir?"
we can give
But
her
you
the
drive a
rest.
little teeny Malibu, right? I saw your car. You didn't buy a car. You didn't do that. She drive an old Lexus truck. You didn't buy that either. Her house is nice. Maybe you redecorated the house. Maybe you okay.
That's
Let me
still a
go.
lot. That you should still have a lot of money left, child.
Yeah, he should.
You can do that under 100 grand. And it don't got to be all of that, unless you're doing like replacing bathrooms and whole kitchens, like a remodel. Like, sir, please,
Yes. So let's see.
this
She
guy.
didn't take her cut, just the office. Well, listen. It's 33 and a third. It's a steak.
That's all well and good. However, that man should have had a place to rest his head. Is my point, and I wouldn't have been staying on your couch. So you could be
Yes.
mad, but you gonna be mad, and I'm gonna be at the house, okay?
Especially when I got
And
trust issues. Like, no, what are we doing?
yeah, mm-mm,
Yeah, no.
mm-mm.
Yeah. Tamika, you want to
Yes,
talk
ma'am.
about you want to talk about the jumping out the window?
Uh-uh.
But before we get to this, what was worse? The fact that Caleb brought his ass to the house or the fact that he was at the cemetery crying over the grave? I said, what is happening here, child?
Baby,
The grave.
listen.
I think that's worse because ain't nobody out there but you and
Okay.
Tony.
When she
I mean,
came over,
in his defense, he did try to say that, man.
yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
did.
And
So
yeah.
Kevin was like,
I
eh,
figured he was struggling. He felt guilty about it,
yeah.
But I was like, you doing a bit too much now. But then when we get here and she's, Molly, 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 and we hear somebody opening up the window and see them jump out the window and jump over the fence. Okay. And we go inside and she talking about what? It was somebody in here. I took my sleeping pills. If I had on glasses, that was the part when I pushed my glasses up. It was like, you took what and you did what and you didn't know it was somebody in your house? Yeah, that's when I started looking at them. Real funny. And then when he all of a sudden, Mr. Mustache pops back up, I said, is this the MF that just jumped out the damn window? I'm just telling y'all that's what
He
my
was too
reaction
sweaty.
was.
He was
Because I
he was
was like, it's too
glistening.
much happening right
He
now.
was glistening a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
You
All right.
you doing too much and you got there too fast. And we lost Caleb. We don't know where he at. We on the hunt for him.
That alarm said the bedroom window is open. I said, baby, what? I need
Loud
me
and
one of
clear, right?
those.
Loud and clear.
Right.
And
So
then
you know
she
where to
had
go.
the key and she twisted the key and then still kicked the door. And I said, what you kicking the door
Right,
for?
because
Didn't you
what the
just tell
hell
me?
was in the way that was blocking the door? The way she had to push it, I'm thinking we gonna find Marley passed out on
Right,
the
a
floor.
body.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And then let's go back for a second. When Marley was looking at the pictures of her and Rodney and she was crying and she was like, I should have went on this run with you. what is your relationship with Rodney, ma'am? I need to know. Because it seemed like you got a little bit going on. More than that. Then
they could have really just
That's
been
what it was
friends, but
given. I don't
it
know.
wasn't
That's what,
explained. You
right.
would have
It
had to
really
tell
wasn't.
you would have had
but
to
she
tell
doing
me this
more
is your
than
childhood friend.
Fela. And I'm not sure why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's doing more than Fela. And I'm not sure why the dynamics have changed. I was still, not
You'd have
sure.
had to tell me like this is my childhood friend. We grew up together.
Right.
He
That's
lived
why I was
around the
like,
corner or
how
something.
long were these friendships? If you would have gave me a little bit more of that, then I could understand her reacting.
Kindergarten, like
put it in
first
a
grade,
dialogue, Mr. P. Put it in
high
a dialogue.
school.
It don't even got to be a whole flashback. Just
He saved my life one time or
right.
something like something. I need to know something.
A photo. This is when we both went together to junior prom because my date stood me up. Like I don't know something. When he fixed my
Just got out
mama's
the
something.
hospital and I needed I needed a real good story. Okay,
2 seconds. That's all it.
I
That's all
needed a real
it.
good one. So we have Sam pull up on Marley, and I'm like, come through Alan because he's still Alan. I just realized his name was Sam on my notes. But Sam comes through with the paperwork about Caleb saying that he was saying racial. I don't know if he said racial slurs. He was very aggressive in the military, and something happened. He hit a guy, and it was a lot going on. She ended up going to the law office to talk to the other lady, and they were kind of going back and forth. And she was like, you knew what this guy had done in the military. And you try to suppress it, but y'all want to delve into that a little bit, their conversation?
That was another thing they didn't explain to her. She was saying, well, how did you get your job? You're only 25 years old and you got this job and we need to look into this. And maybe this is when she started talking about Tony and the money and the drugs. I can't really remember, but I was like, child.
I agree, Melrose. Yes, he had enough. Okay.
33 and 1/3.
33 and a third, baby. Because they're going to get their money, okay? Timothy, your thoughts on those two having a conversation about Caleb and the lawsuit, just, and then of course the reward, the $15 million reward.
I don't really remember this conversation that well. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Well, she was giving her the rundown of the black soldier wanted to testify,
right,
and that the hiring practices were a little bit lenient when Caleb started because they should have known about his record or whatnot.
Which
so
makes no sense because he's a rookie, so he just got there not that long ago. But okay,
yeah, so you need to,
They was just basically trying to throw him underneath the bus, which was pretty much, the plan from the beginning. He was going to be the scapegoat because even when he was talking to Kevin, he was saying like, oh, they're charging me, and he was like, oh, I haven't heard anything about that, trying to be dumb and just make sure, my name has been in the night and if this ain't going to fall on me. So somebody had to go down for it regardless.
Right.
And he was going to be the one to go down.
And then they were tired of all the protests and stuff, so they really did want to settle. And since she came with the evidence,
and then they had the little protest, and she wanted to have peace.
Right. We want to have it be peaceful. We want to settle this.
And she did a little thing about she missed her husband every day, and that was her best friend. They were not perfect, but he was perfect for me. Nobody's perfect. Hey.
She had her good acting on, child, because she ain't like that man.
Didn't she? I'm like, okay. So 4 months later, Tony ass still been on the couch, y'all. Y'all been together 8 months, so 4 months later, y'all have been together for a year. For the fourth of y'all relationship, the 3/4 of y'all relationship, y'all was in the bed together. The last fourth, you've been on the couch.
I felt no way.
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Just 4 months ago, when his ass was on there the first time, that I'd have been out of there. So it wouldn't have been no case that 4 months later I was still on that doggone couch and my back is hurting.
And he love bombs her with food, and I love you, I love you. He love bombs her by with the touching and the love and I love you. And I'm like, if he didn't touch this lady a whole lot this damn movie. He's all over her. I'm like, okay, you are really love bombing, and what's going on? Because I ain't never seen nobody love bomb like that. But I found out why, because he full of shit.
He could love
Yeah,
bomb.
because I was trying to understand one, how was it 4 months and you still talking about I'm sorry, when are you gonna forgive me, and you still laying on this damn couch? Two, how the hell you ain't seen your friend in 4 months, but you talking about I'm just gonna keep giving her space. One day she'll forgive me or be with me or speak to me or I'll see her again on the other side. And they like, oh, you got her new address? What, she moved? Like, where the hell y'all been for these 4 months? I need answers, child. I don't know about
She got her
everybody else.
check and ran.
Yeah,
Well,
like
they
we
said
got
she
the check
moved.
for you, and then you was like, "Deuces, bitch." Okay, I'm cast for the ghost.
That was crazy. That was the suspect for me. But they said I think she moved there. Like she said, she moved a month ago. Like it had been four
Yeah,
months,
they
but
was
she
like,
moved a
"Oh
month ago.
yeah, we don't have her new address. She up and left. She ain't talking to none of us."
Yeah, like she ain't talking to us either. And she's like, "Well, I'll just go by her house tomorrow. You ain't got the new address?" I say, uh, dang, okay, uh, uh, Gail, Marley, you ain't talked to your homegirl at all. You ain't checked on her at all. You giving her space, so you give her 4 months worth of space.
It's a
Yeah,
lot of
because
space.
I'm like, Tony should have been like Marley and had a new place and moved.
They be
Yeah,
listening.
still being on that couch, Letitia. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly.
Getting it. She got
He was
her.
a hobo.
What Day Daddy said? I got my check and I was gone. Molly got her check and she was gone. She said, "But what
That's
y'all talking
and
about?"
that's what freaking Tony's behind should have done. He didn't have to be gone. He just needed to be gone from her place. Because how long have you had
Yeah,
this money that you ran all through it and you ain't got no place to rest your head, child?
you ain't got no what bills you got because she was established before you met her. So you didn't pay all this. You didn't pay how many? $200,000 worth of bills.
And even if it was to start the business, because it's not like they said that, but even if it was to start his PI business, like, aren't you making money from the PI business? So that should kind of offset some of it. Child, I don't know. He should have had him a little condo, a townhouse, or something. Okay, something,
Yeah, something. Tyler Perry got some trailers around there from the record
right?
stuff he can stay in because from what we find out later on, he ain't worth the hill of beans no how. So
Mhm.
Sam, Shannon, and I want to call Phyllis so bad. Marley, they are at the spin class. They're exercising and they're leaving. Of course, they don't watch her go to her car. I don't know what kind of men they are. This is because
Let that lady go all the way on the other side of the parking lot by
on the
herself.
other side of the parking lot.
Didn't even
So they
wait for her to get in the car.
girl, wait, your head ain't on a swivel. You got your head down on your phone. That's how people get kidnapped. Normally the van is white, but this black van pulled up
She couldn't have
and
done
got
nothing about
Marley.
it no way, other than scream and try to run. They'd have got her anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. And of course, they ended up leaving the door open when they took her. They took her. She's in the van with her head covered up. And Caleb is, trying to get her to calm down and let her know that, I'm not here to hurt you. I just need to talk to you. I need somebody to listen to me. And I'm like, dang, this man really did not do it. And I'm like, okay, he really needs to talk to her because he's trying to plead his case with her. And come to find out, we have Anna who dated. Okay, somebody help me get this right because Tony dated
Child,
Kevin,
because my
but
head about to
Kevin is
hurt.
supposed to be Tony or what?
That's what I said. Because when
But
they
Rodney
got
was
to the
dating
end,
Anna and Kevin.
right, but Kevin was really Tony. Because Kevin said, "Why did you use my name?" And at least that's what I took from it. Y'all could correct me if I'm wrong. He
No,
said,
hear
"Why did
me
you use
out.
my name in the profile?" And she was, when we found the tape, she was saying Kevin on the tape. Now I thought both of them might have been on the tape, but all I remember seeing was Tony.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so
yeah,
you understand that Kevin is Tony. So what's Tony's name?
Tony's name is Tony.
Okay. Or homosexual. Let's just leave it at
Right.
that.
But to
Um,
Anna, his name is Kevin, child.
but Anna ends up telling Marley that Kevin said that you all were really, really good friends. He talked about you like, y'all were this,
Mhm.
that, and the third. And he said he wanted to marry you. I said, what?
Which
He
confused me
married.
until we got to the end because he was hitting on her at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was hitting on Fayla at the beginning. Never mind. See, I'm about to be all confused.
So
Cancel
she
that.
was dating Rodney, and Rodney said him and his wife was having problems. They were
Right.
they met at the self defense class, and Kevin was what he was possessive or whatever.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know.
stalking her. She kept moving around, and then he would still follow her. So Rodney was, I think he owned gyms, so he maybe was
Mhm.
teaching a self defense class. He said he was going to teach her, and he was going to protect her, and she was going to be cool. But then inadvertently, they started having, their little side thing too. So
Mhm. And really quickly, guys, if you all have not, please go ahead and like the video on Miss Kira's channel, Tamika's Den, as well as myself, Candy Loves TV. Please go ahead and like the video. We are wrapping this thing up. We'll be done in a few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing sped up a little bit.
we're almost
Um,
at the end.
so yeah, we're almost at the end. Well, we at the end. So we have not Tony, Caleb's wife. It was like, we are desperate. We really need
His
your help.
black
Please
wife.
help us. His black wife. Um, and she gave him the phone number, and they ended up dropping her back off at her car. So, and I was like, okay, cool. So we see her back in her office on her laptop. She's checking out Kevin's profile, and she ended up figuring out that Kevin should have been in
He was in the wrong
he was
zone.
in zone 7, but should have been in zone 5 or 3 or
Fives,
whatever.
yeah, or
And
vice versa,
that was
whichever one.
unusual.
Mm-hmm.
So, Marley
And
was
she
really
learned that from working Tony's case, she said.
yeah, Marley was really doing her big one on this thing. And I'm like, okay, Marley is putting two and two together. She ain't no slow leak. But Tony is like, you sound strange or whatever. What's going on with you? You sound strange. But she's like, don't worry about it. It's a long day. I'll talk to you when I get home. But of course, like you said, she learned about zones when she was helping Tony.
Same
Um,
difference.
so she ended up calling Sam and Shannon and asked her to meet me here at the hotel. They meet at the hotel, and of course, that's where Caleb, Anna, and Caleb's wife are there, and they're talking like giving them the whole rundown of everything, even the military part about
Mm-hmm.
Kevin. I mean, yeah, Kevin
Caleb
beating Caleb was protecting his wife in order to from Kevin. No, not from Kevin, but from another officer.
from a yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody want to talk about this whole thing about how they came
It,
into knowing everything that not everything, but just about everything that was really going on?
it was her ex, so I guess
Yeah.
there was no and never any slurs, but he just made that up. And he had, I guess, been hurting her, and so he was defending her, and he
Mm-hmm.
said it was worth it, and that's why he, I guess, got discharged or charged or whatever. But then the Anna lady has said that Kevin used to rent the house out, and she thought he was going to take her out, so she taped the phone in the bathroom, but somebody bought the house. So now they wasn't going to be able to get a warrant.
But
And
that ain't how
Marley
it works.
decides she gonna take her happy ass over there by herself. You ain't want to take none of them other two men with you? No. Okay. Accessories? No.
No blickies, no spray, no.
And she did give her password for her phone. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, cool for that. Because I would have been like, ma'am, how did you get in there?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know how long ago she supposedly left the phone there that it still had a charge, but we'll let that one go.
And it's a
She had the
smartphone, so
password.
it's not a flip phone, it's a smartphone. So maybe it was on D and D. Maybe the Wi-Fi was off. The ring, everything was off on the phone. It was shut
Child
down,
something. How can he
but it was
how can
still
he
on.
rent that on a cop's out and afford what's the name's car too? That yellow car,
Mm-hmm.
Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Look, that was an Airbnb. That's why I can afford.
Yeah, either it
So,
was an Airbnb or they go around doing scams and making money, and he's using that money to get it done,
Yeah.
child.
mhm. So
I
Tamika, you
think he
want
did because I think the what Marley was able to get Tony off on, he actually did that ish, okay?
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
And they had a whole side thing going on.
But it was a
Exactly.
technicality as to why he was able to
Mhm.
get
Yeah,
that 200
probably.
grand. So yeah.
Mhm.
You want to talk about this from A2 and these the thing that's going on in this picture right here?
Mm.
Let me get this child situated. I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
because I had the same questions. How you get this car? How you get this house? You pulling up smiling, talking about come on in, and they trying to make excuses why they can't go in. And I was like, y'all not really trying hard enough because I wouldn't have went in there. I'm sorry, I don't give a damn. But they
If I
like,
was
okay,
Marley, if I was Marley, I would have left that to the two men. I'd have been like, okay, let me get something
exactly.
out the car. And I'd have been,
Right. I've been out of here. You go in there if you want to, but we gonna go ahead in
and the fact that
and
he popped up and knew where his house was at.
exactly. Like, come on, y'all. That's when I really was like, what's really happening here? Because I mean, the title Duplicity, and there's been other movies and books with that name. You know, somebody about to get duped, swindled, okay, food and hoodwinked and all of the things. But
Bamboozled,
I'm
yep.
like, right, bamboozled, hoodwinked, okay. But she go in and she look for this phone. And then when she go to the door, all of a sudden we like with the keys, you not going nowhere, girl. Come on over here and sit down.
And how one had the keys and one had the phone, girl? How?
Right. Like, oh, I got your phone over here, girl. Come on.
All of that would have been in my pocket. I said, that's another thing I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let it go.
How, Sway? How? But that's the way they wrote it, right?
You might have had my keys, but you wouldn't have my phone. I might have set my keys
Yeah,
down when I
because
came
I don't
in,
be
but
going nowhere without my damn phone.
they've been right in my
Especially not
pocket.
somewhere where I'm not feeling all the way comfortable and safe. And you know, she's saying like, okay, Tony, come on, Tony. And then he over here giving the funny face. And I'm like, wait, Tony, bitch, you in on this too? Because I already kind of had, like I said, suspicions about two of these people. But they kind of got me with damn Tony. I said, not you.
Not my Tony. Not Tyler.
All
Ooh,
right.
Lord.
Making me breakfast every morning, sleeping on the couch for 4 months.
I'm the man of your dreams. I mean, he did say that in a little while. I said, oh, well.
Yeah.
All right.
They
The man,
tricked me with that.
aka the man of the nightmares.
Baby.
But yeah. Now how they like you said, how they had your keys and your cell phone. Now my keys be in my pocket even when I'm at work. If the fire drill go off and I can't, I need something going in my car. If the fire alarm go off, he for sure can't put the address down on the paperwork and work without raising some eyebrows and red flags, child, because that's right. So yeah, they didn't even let her out. They had automatically locked the doors on the house, and it was SOL. So she tried to run. Of course, I don't know where she thought she was running, baby. But they
out the back door or something, or out a window. That would have been my thing. Like, I'm gonna get out a door or a window or something.
They end up drugging
Right,
her.
I would have had to bust that glass. It was all glass doors. They would have been busted open, child.
Yeah, you're
We
right.
done
That's
drugged her up.
Yeah.
They done drugged her up and threw her over the shoulder like a sack of potatoes. Took her out to the boat. Come to find out, Fayla pop up. I say, I know you effing lying.
Right.
I'm like, are you serious?
I mean, we knew something was amiss when she took the money and ran, but
I told y'all it was a couple times I was giving her the side eye, and then I felt like that was damn Kevin that hopped out of her damn window like they was in there doing the do, and they had to play it off because the way that she kept acting like she couldn't stand him, she hate him so much. I said, do you really? Okay, that was fishy to me. But I was not expecting all three of them to be talking about, you done messed this up, and then we gonna start calling each other out on what we feel like we did wrong. I said, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, Fayla, girl, flip-flopper, what is really going on with you? You are
and that's when we went tick, tick, boom, and everybody lost their shit. Mostly me, okay? I lost my stuff at this point, okay?
Yeah, so then we get him on the boat. And what's the guy that come around with the boat? The
Coast Guard
or NR or DNR,
like that.
Department of Natural Resources. Those people come around, and them people about bad as police. You don't play with them. and the water wasn't deep enough, to go out. You really can't see what's, sticking about the water because it was too low.
Yeah.
So when he saw Marley laying in the back of the boat, he was like, "What's going on with her?" They was like, "Oh, she's seasick. She doesn't like, boats or whatever." And he saw her; she had something wrapped around her waist, like she was going to be taken overboard. Okay, and he was like, "What's going on, Lord?" Kevin and popped the man. Why? Why did you have to shoot that man?
I mean, what else
I
was he
guess he
gonna
had no
do?
choice, but I mean, really?
Mm-hmm.
And the boat capsized. I don't know how his boat turned. I don't know if they turned the boat over or
Yeah,
whatever.
because
They
they
just
said
turned
Turned
the
the
now
boat.
you
boat
gotta
over.
sink his boat,
Okay.
Right.
so that way we don't have no evidence left behind. Mm-hmm.
That
Which
was so
kind of
crazy.
didn't make no sense because he said the water wasn't that deep. So how
Exactly.
the boat? But okay, I just was letting them have the small things,
Maybe that's why it's such a small boat. Because it looks like Kevin boats is bigger than they boat.
It
Than
was.
boat.
Even still, even a little boat going, I'll be like, what's that right there? A
Yeah,
boat.
so they throw Marley over the river and through the woods. And of course she comes out of her, she unties herself, she floats back up to the
This
top,
was some
hiding
crap.
under the boat that turned over to catch her breath to figure out what she gonna do.
The fact that she was able to maneuver those chains off her wrist and hold her breath for all that time or breathe underwater, if that's what you want to believe. I said, I'm gonna let y'all have it just because I
Right.
don't
And
got
I
the
thought
time.
maybe she was just going to swim away and not even let them know
That's
that
what
she,
I thought.
had made it. But no, sis said, I'm about to put fire on your ass, literally. Like, y'all don't piss me the hell off. And you thought
It
she
was.
didn't trust people before. She really ain't going to trust nobody. She ain't going to want no friends, no lovers,
Nope.
Nothing. I ain't want a cat or a dog or fish, goldfish either.
Not the cat and the dog, baby.
No. So baby, she gets on the boat. She gets this flare thingy, and she pows feeler. She
I'd have got
pows
her ass
Kevin,
first too.
and then we get the baby. I say
Right. Did he really think he was
uh.
about to beg his way out of this?
He should have jumped his behind in that water. And Kevin
Right.
and Kevin had the thing on him too, so he wasn't thinking. As
I
soon
love
as you
Mm-mm.
you.
saw
I'm like,
Fela, we would have been powing and tussling.
Right.
But the good guy got to win, so I'm with it.
I wasn't mad at it though. Y'all really played games with her for all of
y'all,
this. So yeah.
she blew Fela cap back like they did Scrappy Mama on Power.
Baby.
Threw that lady cat back. Oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, so we use the flare gun and pop 3 people, and then you shoot it up in the air for them to come rescue you. Okay.
Baby, she took a minute after she took them 3 people out because before she did that last one in the air was like, Lord Jesus. I said, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
right,
like,
ma'am. Right.
how long is it gonna be for you to do for you, let somebody know that you need help.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, when she go squeeze the trigger, please? Let me know.
And then wait, then she changed and put another thing in there when she took. Never mind.
She probably
Hero.
did. I didn't
The
see that.
hero
If you
got to
saw that,
win. It don't matter. She had to win. They out of here. Especially that's when they unfolded this thing about the cheat. He was cheating and then she was gonna be embarrassed and she had no money. He was gonna leave her, and so they used the police and the black, and that, like I said, that's where I lost it.
Yeah, that Negro had to go. Now that's where I got pissed off at. Like I said, this was not a bad movie. I could have took all the rest of this movie because, like Miss Kira was mentioning earlier, I have seen too many of these videos with this happening. I have also seen it in real time. I have been to protests. My son and godsons and everybody and their mother have been to protests. I get triggered by these videos that people just put out without any type of trigger warning. I have to be so careful going on social media because I'll be like, I don't want to see this no more. And the fact that, because I don't know what movie it was, I can't remember, but Tyler had put something with police in it. in one of the Medea movies, and it didn't go over well. And as soon as I seen it was going to be a police aspect in this, I was like, already giving the side eye, but I didn't want to prejudge it. I said, let's see what he do. But for me, this is not your ministry, and I know he ain't gonna listen and he ain't gonna give a damn because he's still gonna do what he want to do. But sir, please leave this out of it. Like you could have told this story and did not have to use that as be the excuse of what the way that she wanted to go to set him up for him to be taken out so she could go ahead and get this damn insurance money. We could have still got here. And that could have been left out on the damn cutting board, like for real. We could have X'd this out, erased it completely for me.
Yeah, that's why I said it could have been two different movies. Because if we left the police aspect out of it, I would have been fine. But I feel like it diluted something that's very serious, and you made a mockery of it. Like we be crying wolf, and that's not what really happens. Like, I mean, the cop did actually take him out. He was set up, but it just was like. This not what we want to do. This is not what we want to do as a black person. I can understand somebody else.
The place and where he was going to be at, and Kevin went ahead to do all of this, because he done told Caleb this is the way to do it. When you hear me say GUN, I'm like, child, if y'all don't get out my damn face.
And if somebody else had made it, I would have been like, okay, but for one of us to make a movie that acts like we're not supposed to take this stuff seriously, and like it hasn't been happening for forever, and it's been happening a lot lately, and I was triggered, child. I was all the way triggered. I was all the way pissed off. I was like, no, this is not a joke. This is not somebody's playing a game and somebody's getting revenge. This happens in real time to our people. And then they try to clean it up at the end with the new little news
all
thing.
of that, you could have had it like it was a stick up and he was getting robbed. I don't know anything else but this. Jesus.
Yes. Yep. And what grind my gears about is like you are playing with real things all for money, and it's like you took somebody's life just because you wanted money. Is it so? It's dealing with greed and I'm gonna say jealousy, because Kevin was jealous of about 2 or 3 people, if you ask me. And so was Kevin paid off? Of course he got that big gigantic house, but I'm sure he probably was taking dope money or something like that. Ain't no telling what he was doing to get this big old to buy the big old
they definitely been scheming.
I think they both was had a little side deal.
Money. Yeah. And maybe that's why Tony money was going too, because maybe he split that with them as well. I guess we split it 3 ways every time we come into something. I don't know, child.
And then I end up thinking, I'm like, okay, so Tony got with Marley because Fela knew Marley was a pit bull in the courtroom. So Tony is unemployed by his own doing. And now, okay, let me hook you up with my homeboy. I mean, let me hook you up with my homegirl because I know she is a good lawyer. Get you some money, okay? So that was a setup. That wasn't even a real relationship. That was
right. And again, that's why I have to ask, how long did Marley know Fela? I was mixing up their names for a minute. Y'all hope y'all knew who I was talking about.
They said it was best friends, but we can't be.
Y'all say y'all was best friends, but child, I don't know.
That's how you do your best friend.
Yeah. Baby, be my enemy, okay?
Right.
Be my enemy any day, because I'm like, hold a minute. The story got worse because really? So you set your homegirl, your best friend up with this dude so you can help him get some money.
Scamming.
Instead of just him being your client. You ain't had to date the man.
Right.
I mean, that you didn't have to date Marley to do this. She could have got him.
I think the only real friend Marley might have had is the one that they took out. I don't know. We can't say because he gone.
And what is the premise of that relationship? I need to know, because I want to know why she crying more than Fela. Well, hell, I know why she crying more than Fela, because Fela ain't want to be with the man. And then because he was cheating on her, you really pissed off. Kevin pissed off. Everybody pissed off. So they just gonna set up this white guy because he had a crooked, a bad
background
with military, which really wasn't what it said it was. It was something totally different. Y'all, we can't be playing with police brutality like this, because this be real life stuff.
Yeah, because the first thing I thought, Melrose 1 says it reminds a major case in their area. The first thing it reminded me of is Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
So I was like,
yeah. And then the what's his name? The Jordan. What's his name? with the Skittles and the George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. Yeah, I'm like, really?
I would have been even okay if we got to the end and we were angry because the white cop got off. I would have even taken that because that's a lot like real life. But for it to be a scheme that Todd had set up for y'all to get some money, I was pissed. I was like, we don't play them games.
That pissed me off. I'm like, are we really playing with stuff like this? Like, come on, Tyler,
Very much so.
Better than that. And I was telling Tamika Miss Carey, it could have been with a white cop. He might have did something to him or them or whatever, and we're gonna sue him because he got a rich billionaire family. Okay, cool. We can set up something like that, but not setting up the police. We're not doing that.
I was going to say, if you had kept it with the police and the setup, that's giving me George Floyd. Like, it's giving like so many similarities and stuff that already happened. That's why I said, if they had just gave us a very, I'm going to be mad because the cop got off, I would have taken that instead of this. Because it was like, oh, you just making a joke out of it. Okay.
For the love of money.
That would have been a great movie. A movie
the
where
neighbor that called that really wasn't the neighbor that we didn't never bother asking who the hell are you. So that was Fayla that was calling all that time.
Like, wasn't she on the news at the time?
I don't know, child. Was she?
Or maybe it was out of sync. You know, she might have
maybe she was about to go on and she was like,
she made that call before she went up there. Yeah,
right.
Because he had a long time to run. You know, and then of course. And I'm like, okay, well, after I watched it the second time, he threw that hoodie on and was looking left and right. And then he went back. I said, oh, you ain't got no business.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
You're not running. You're not jogging. You're going.
Okay, you down there, Trayvon. Yeah, baby. That's why I said, even if because that didn't go how we wanted it to go. So had we got either that was the story where the cop got off and we were mad, or the movie had been just them trying to get back, sans the cop, fine. But the two together,
no. And Darfalina says they turned the white guy into another victim when he was still in the wrong for killing somebody for no good reason.
Yeah.
All in all, Rodney is gone. No matter what, he is gone. And y'all, if y'all don't know Rodney, listen. My thumbnail, I tried to get it, but I couldn't get it. Y'all.
There you go.
He right there. He on my layout, my overlay. He played Manny in Ruthless. I don't like him on Ruthless because he took somebody's, Tootsie Roll. I mean, not Tootsie Roll. He took a girl's. He didn't get permission to get it, so I don't like him for that. But he's so fine. I said, dang.
Candy, I cannot.
That was my thumbnail. He all over my thumbnail. Justice for Rodney, okay? Because
I saw
he nice.
She said he looks good.
I said, okay, come on. You be in that doggone military outfit with that head on.
That's how I felt about Tyler being a bad guy. I was like, oh, I don't even like the light brights like that, but he is so cute. I was like, oh man, not you.
Yeah. But then of course they got to talk to what's the child name? Marley and Caleb, and talk about how everything went down and they were wrong. And we got Sam and the lady that works at a news station. They're there, just consoling one another because it was a bad thing that happened with one of their own that used the system for ill, and it was just ugly. It was ugly all around from beginning to end.
Yeah, then you want to say, oh, we need to take these things seriously and believe people like after you just gave us shenanigans. Okay.
Yep. So on that note, ladies,
crashed and burned at the end. We was smooth sailing, okay? As far as TP was concerned, we was smooth sailing until we got to us.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, no wonder Tony was all I'm like, no wonder
what he had to do.
This lady. That's why he loved bombing her like that, cooking her breakfast.
He was playing his role.
He had to play a role. He played it for about 8 months to a year.
I ain't got all that energy, child.
Yeah, that's too long. I can't. I can't
That's
do
like that movie that Candy had to pass when they was working the cons and stuff. He was working his con too,
for
child.
years.
That's too
Yep.
much. I don't
Well,
got that much energy.
that's that on that. I hope everybody enjoyed our recap, our rant and review. I don't think we rant too bad. I think we kind of calmed down on it. We was kind of calm.
We was toned down. We got a little bit of rant at the end. Because that was
Yeah,
the part that I think really pissed well, at least us three collectively pissed us off was you playing with real life. So
Yeah.
no, we're not doing that. You should have took your big eraser time and figured
I'd
out
be like, never mind.
another
We're just
way.
gonna take the police aspect out of it.
Yeah,
That'd have been all right.
could have been a rich man that hit somebody with the car, or something like that. Something I don't know, but you enjoyed us better, or aren't you so sweet? I know what that means, but you won't. I'm joking. So, ladies, tell me what y'all got going on y'all channel. Tamika, then Miss Kira.
What do I got going on, child? I think I'll be with Moochie and Nita and Inga possibly Friday for Yellow Jackets. I'm still trying to work out this love at the lockup, y'all. I don't know. I'm trying to do something. And Sunday we have the round table for Raising Canaan. I think they having the watch party. After the episode, I probably won't be there, but make sure y'all join them. And then tomorrow we will have more foolishness and foolery with another daggone Tyler Perry show. I'll let Kenny tell y'all about that. But it won't be the foolishness and foolery that was in this one, Tyler. And I liked it overall. It's just that one part that just made me want to be like, sometimes I want to fight Tyler. And that made me want to fight him a little bit.
A lot of it. Like I said, it was about mid level. It wasn't all the way up here, but we was cool right there.
Yeah,
right.
we was coasting to the group. Yeah, it went all the way down from like. This took the wind out my sail.
Definitely was knocking all this ish over real quick.
Okay. And what about you, Miss Kira?
Please check out my Married to Medicine Part 1 reunion. I got up. It was a little after midnight. It didn't make Monday, but it was up there. It's there. Y'all can watch it. Talk about it. Coming up on. I have something on Friday. Keep your notifications on. Saturday, we have Raising Canaan and a Saturday Sip with me and Candy Love. And then Sunday, weekly huddle. I think Found is on a break for this week. So keep your notifications on. I may fill something else in on Sunday and potentially Friday. But yes, Raising Canaan, Married to Medicine, Saturday Sip, and weekly huddle.
All right. I'm trying to eat, y'all. Well, thank you. Darfelina, my channel is Candy Loves TV. Candy Loves TV. Oh yeah, Tamika and I will be covering Beauty in Black, episode 13 and 14 tomorrow at 9:30. And then Saturday I'll be with Miss Kira, as she just said. And Sunday I'll be doing Power with Moochie and the gang. It's Found. We got a break
this week.
We got a break
back
from
next
Found.
week.
Yeah, that is right, because we was fussing about that Sunday. So we got a break from Found. Married to Medicine reunion episodes 1 and 2 will be next Monday with EJ and I, and then we're gonna be doing this thing back over because I think the Oval is back next Tuesday. So yeah, just keep your notification bells on.
What kind of break is that?
The Oval is back next week. I know you lying.
Yeah, the mid-season finale, ain't it?
Is it?
I thought y'all did the mid-season already.
Last week. I know you lying, girl.
Maybe I am lying. I don't know, child.
I thought y'all did that already, Candy. That's why I was like, it's back. It just went off.
Week. We did the May because I might be telling a lie, y'all. I'm sorry.
Keep your notifications on, y'all. He do run his shows like that, so you could have been right, but
he do. Yeah. I might have missed it. I don't know.
Yeah, I might be wrong, and I probably am, y'all. So just charge to my head and not my heart. I apologize. Sorry. I got Tamika all frazzled. Hold a
She said,
minute.
"What?" She got something going on, y'all. Keep your notifications on.
I don't see everybody coming through. I appreciate it. Our Freedom, Arrow One, Harris, light it up with Letitia, BKJ, TV. Thank you for coming through. Steve Bronson, thank you. And if I missed anybody, I apologize, guys. It's charged to my head and not my heart. KMS. Ooh, these KMS MKS. Baby, you trying to fool me. Get my eyes all messed up. DeMarcus Vaughn, thank you. Thank you. LL, thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. Greta, thank you. And then again, hey Shayla and Cheryl. Yeah, if I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm trying not to, but we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. And if nothing else, we're gonna see y'all later.